Good morning, my friends. Hello, hello, hello. We'll be welcoming my awesome guest, Nicole, with us today. We're talking all things branding. This is kind of a fun new topic for us. Super, super excited to have you here. Good morning, my friends. It is Monday. Nothing like starting the week with an awesome webinar. Get your creative juices going. Good morning. Yes, you are back. Just gotta find you now. And we're live. So say hi when you jump on.
Hello.
Welcome my amazing, amazing, amazing friend, Miss Nicole. And you know what? I just realized I forgot to tell Porter to have this go on your page. So I'll just have you go share it on your page instead.
Okay, I can do that.
If you don't mind. I mean, if you want to. Sorry.
Yeah, I can do that.
Absolutely. So just go share it. Good morning, Autumn. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Sheila. Good morning, Kim. Two Kims right there in a row. Good morning, my lovely ladies. Something about the name Kim that we just love. How's everybody doing today? Hello, friends. Hello, hello. So excited to have you here, Miss Carol. Hello, Eileen. How are you? Good morning. Jump on in and say hi. Hello, Priscilla. How are you? Hello, hello. What was the best thing of your what's the best thing in your weekend? Okay, you guys are gonna laugh what my best thing was. My best thing was I organized 3 closets and it made me ever so happy. Sometimes you just need that. Good morning, Dee. Good morning, Katie. Good morning, Valerie. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in and say hi. Make sure you tell us where you're from and which company you are with. While you're doing that, hit that share button, Comment Revolution. We are going to be giving away 2 $50 gift certificates this morning. One for people who did the live check-in. Go and check the post. It happened just before the webinar. Do the live check-in. And then also we'll be giving away one for someone who shares this out. Now we do look at the shares. We can see who shared. You do need to share it publicly or it won't show us that you shared it. So make sure that you do that. Share it publicly. All right, Miss Valerie, Miss Deborah, Miss Nicole. Oh, you went out of town with your husband and just yourself. That sounds heavenly. Going to church. That's wonderful. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for tagging friends. You guys are awesome. Renee, good morning. Valerie, Katie, Alexis, Dee, Geraldine, hello. Oh, how fun. Oh, you were in Ohio. Yay. Sherry Brown says, good morning, my inspiration. Nicole is definitely inspiration. I cannot agree with you more. I cannot agree with you more. Sorry, give me 1 second here to deal with something. All right. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, Penny. Hello, 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 Miss Kim. Another Kim, some of my favorite people. All right. Okay, everybody say good morning and welcome to my amazing, brilliant friend, Nicole. one of my absolute favorite people. She's such an inspiration when it comes to business. She's going to be telling you a little bit about her history, her story, and where she is now. Honestly, she's just had success in pretty much everything she's done, but she's chosen to have a couple different journeys, right? It's fun to have different adventures, right, Miss Nicole?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, Livette, good morning. Anyone you see, go ahead and say hi. This is interesting. We have a profile that says shopping, and it says, good afternoon, everyone. Comment again and tell me what your name is. It just says shopping. I'm curious if that's the name of your Facebook page or that's so fun. All right. Good morning, my friends. Welcome. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about branding. Now, I think a lot of people think of branding of just like a logo, but we are going to talk about things like logos, colors, fonts, those kind of things. We're going to be talking about a mission and a culture. We're going to be talking about creating a community. We're going to be talking about also like your business, basically business practices. A lot goes into your branding, not just the look of it. Okay. And Nicole has an amazing, amazing brand. You see her blue hair. Okay. That's part of her brand. We love it. I still remember asking you your story about that. Didn't you want a different color that day and they
I
had
did.
blue? Well, how did that come about? Remind me, because it's just a fun story.
So I was recently full-time entrepreneurship from corporate, and we're going to talk a little bit about my journey, but I was in corporate America for 15 years. And of course, there's certain things you can't really do when you have a corporate job, and loud color hair is definitely on the list. So now that I was a full-time entrepreneur, I was just like, you know what? There's some things I would love to try that I just couldn't do before. And so changing my hair color was one of the things. And I had purple, and I really loved purple. It wasn't like a whole head of purple, but it was like purple highlights, and it was really pretty. And I was ready to get my hair done, and I went to going to get it braided, and I was going to get the purple hair, and they had none. And so I called my stylist in a panic, and she was like, well, what do you see? Tell me what other colors you see. And I told her the things, and she was like, you know what? I think you should try blue. And I was like, blue? No way. I love blue, but I just never imagined putting it in my hair. She was like, well, I mean, like anything else, if you don't like it, we take it out, we do something else. It's not a big deal. I'm like, okay. So we tried it, and literally it stuck. I mean, from that moment on, it was like, I found it. I found my thing. This is my thing. So yeah, it was an accident, but it was purposeful, I guess.
Well, and I think the funny thing about blue is, I think because so many people think of navy with blue, they don't think of it as kind of very bright and powerful. You kind of like, women tend to lean towards red, pink, purple, and yet your blue is so vibrant. It's not navy, right? It's not anywhere close. It's an electric blue. Yeah. And she has a handful of really cute wigs that are blue, and so she has different hairstyles. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. But when you see her blue hair, like you're like, just a glance, you're like, that's Nicole. Yeah. And we're not saying you have to have colored hair. I'm not going colored hair, but you have your thing. Okay. So just know we're not saying y'all have to have colored hair to brand yourself, but it is a fun way. It's super, super fun. And she rocks it. She absolutely rocks it. Okay. I'm curious. How many of you, if you could like have a really good hair color and feel really good about it? The other reason, my mom is a beautician, so I know too much about like lifting color, putting it back in. Like, it's not a simple thing. It's expensive. It's time consuming. But what color hair, if you knew it wouldn't damage your hair, you could rock it, you'd have so much fun with it. What color hair would you go with? I'm thinking I would probably do purple, but I don't know. I know. Isn't it just gorgeous on her, Kim? I agree. Kim Hunter would do purple too. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, you guys, you're awesome. Pink, purple. Elma says pink, purple. So have you thought about ever trying it, or are you like, no, this is it? Are you just solid blue? You're never going to change now?
I don't know. I get nervous thinking about changing it. Not because I don't want to, just because it's really a part of my brand now. And
Mhm.
so I've just and it's been several years. And so at this point, I just kind of find styles I like and just keep, as long as I can keep the color, it's like, we'll change
Mhm.
it. You change it up to different things, but I think blue is going to be a thing for a while. I won't say forever, but definitely in the immediate future. Yeah.
I know. You may hit a midlife crisis and be like, "Oh no, we're over
It's got to
blue. We
go.
gotta like change
Yeah.
it up."
Maybe. Maybe.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So make sure you've commented hashtag queen. Make sure you share this out, comment revolution. Remember, we will have a drawing at the end. You do have to be present to win. We're going to be going over several things regarding branding. So if you will all just give my dear friend, Miss Nicole, a big, big, big welcome. Okay. Give her a big, big welcome. She's going to tell you a little bit about her story. Sorry. Okay. All right. So, tell them a little bit about where you're from. Tell them a little bit about your background, starting with corporate America. Like I said, she's had a journey in the direct sales industry. Now she's a small business owner. So, give them a little bit about what that's looked like. Also, just remind them where you're from, like, and you have children. Just a little bit,
Yeah.
well, as much about your personal life as you feel. Anyway, just let them know. Your mom too. Like you have
Yeah.
several hats you're wearing. Is mostly what I mean.
Yeah.
You're not
Absolutely.
bored. This is not,
No.
you're not sitting around doing mom bod. All right, go
No.
ahead, love.
Sure. So first of all, thank you, Michelle, for this opportunity, and thank you to all of you that have shown so much love in the comments. I'm definitely grateful to be here.
Thank
Michelle
you.
knows that I have big love for her and for what her business and her goal in terms of helping people to create solutions. She's done that plus a whole lot more for my business in the years that we've worked together. And
Love it.
through my last transition, especially, she was just such a monumental help. So if you're watching this video and if you're thinking about working with Michelle, shameless plug, you need to do it, because I can tell you from years of experience, it was worth the investment, and not just because she does great work, but because she's a great person to work with. Some people are good at what they do, but they're not necessarily your favorite people. And so Michelle is both of those, in my humble opinion. She's great to work with, and she's very good at what she does. So shout out to you, Michelle, and thank you for the invitation to be here today. I'm grateful to share the stage with you. So,
oh, you're too kind. Oh my gosh, Nicole's one of my favorite people. You guys are gonna be so inspired by her. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you to hear from her. Okay,
thank you,
lots
Michelle.
of love.
Thank
Okay,
you. And
you're
shout
awesome.
out to Michelle too for wearing my color today. Like, listen, that does my heart good too, right? Yes. So
a
a little
smart
bit about
people
me.
do.
Listen, I'm telling you, it's the way to do it. So a little bit about me. I just turned 40 in April. So I've just joined the 40 club. Yep, in April 1st. And I am a mom. I do have 4 kids. My oldest is in the military. He actually is in basic training right now in Fort Benning,
Thank you
Georgia.
for your service. Many prayers
Yeah,
for
I'm
safety.
so proud of him, and I miss him so much. I only get to talk to him on Sundays. That's their phone time, and it's a small window. So I just talked to him yesterday, but he's doing great, and I couldn't be more proud of him. It came up on my memories this morning that he graduated high school 4 years ago today, and I'm like,
Wow.
can't believe how quick that 4 years went by. So very proud of him. And then I have 3 girls. Many of you guys that follow me have seen them all over my timeline. They are 11, 13, 14. 2 of them just graduated, one from elementary, one from middle school, headed to high school next year. So it's an eventful life that I have. It's never a dull moment, for sure. In addition to, mentoring women and singing and songwriting and writing books and all the things, I do a lot of things, and I'm blessed and fortunate to wear a lot of hats. The mom hat is probably my favorite. It's the most work, but it's definitely the most rewarding. And so I'm grateful for that. A little bit around my journey in business. So I started out fresh out of high school. When I was during like college years and things like that, I was working in real estate. I started in residential, And then when the bottom fell out of the economy during the crash and all the things, I left that kind of side of it and I stayed in real estate, but I went more into commercial. And I spent 15 years in total in that industry. Very rewarding. During that time, I found a love for sales. I remember taking a sales job just because I was looking for something, and I saw the earning potential, and I was never afraid of betting on myself. Ever. So if you're taking notes, you need to write that down. Don't be afraid to bet on yourself.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, I love that.
I guess I was too young to be afraid. I was maybe 18, 19 years old, but I was already a mom. It's noteworthy that I had my son when I was 17. He was born the month before my 18th birthday. So when I first made this transition into sales and found a love for sales, and I found that I was good at it, I definitely had responsibilities already. So I want to make that clear, because a lot of times when we're taking risks and when we're taking the leap, so to speak, we assess our risk, which is prudent. It's intelligent to do that. At the same time, don't get stuck in your head and talk yourself out of betting on yourself. Right? Betting on yourself is always the right road. Even if it doesn't work out, even if you have to course correct, even if you have to rebrand, and I've had to do that several times, even if, you end up taking a couple of turns. Listen, I never, ever regret betting on myself. I started doing it early in my career, and it has served me year after year, occasion after occasion. I don't regret it, and I'm a huge proponent of it. Bet on yourself. So I'm barely out of high school, a new mom, and I found a love for sales in a commission only job in the real estate field. And I was like, man, I am really good at this. Who knew? Who knew that I am really good at selling people stuff? And so that's how it started for me. And I worked in commercial real estate for years. I started working for a company where I was pretty much responsible for leasing and things like that. I learned contract negotiations in that. I learned a lot about just kind of taking that skill set to the next level. And I worked for the same company for 10 years, literally right around my 10th anniversary. I was let go with a phone call. I didn't get a letter. I didn't get a meeting. I didn't get, I got a phone call, guys. And I had just started in direct sales at probably 3-4 months in, and things were going really well. And I had already started working on an exit plan out of my corporate job to work full time for myself. And I was excited about it. But because I had responsibilities, fast forward the tape, I went from just me and my son when I first started betting on myself to 4 people, 4 of them and 1 of me. So 5, a family of 5 as a single mom. I got married and divorced in that window. And I was now responsible for 4 kids on my own. So I knew that I wanted to work for myself full time, and I knew the potential was there in direct sales, but I knew it was going to take some time to build it. I didn't get that time. I got forced into the deep end of working on my own, literally in a few months. I had 4 months in, I want to say, into direct sales. But my team was growing, my sales were growing. I was in a really good space, and so I was nervous and scared, but I was also very excited. I just had a feeling. I couldn't explain it, but I had a feeling that everything was going to be okay, and that it was going to take some work. But again, here I am betting on myself. And so we did that, and it turned out to be amazing. It turned out to be absolutely amazing. I spent 5 years in the same direct sales company. Many of you know me from that time. I became one of the top sellers, one of the top leaders. That's when Michelle and I first met and started working together. I was at a point in my business when Michelle and I came in contact that things were really going well, but I needed to get some time back. That was the main thing. When you're looking to scale in business, don't be afraid to take the risk of hiring people, of outsourcing things. It's scary because you're thinking, my bottom line, I got to protect my revenue. I don't want to overextend myself. And that's intelligent. Equally, business is a lot of work, especially when you're working for yourself. So you've got to be cognizant of avoiding burnout and still making time for your family and the things and the people that matter to you. So sometimes that does require you to automate some systems and to enlist some help in some things that you may not know. And so I didn't know much about ManyChat. I didn't know much about automation, and Michelle, knew all the things. So we started connecting, and she got me some of my time back. Yes, absolutely. She got me some of my time back. She helped me to scale, to grow my business, to get in front of new people, to get back in front of, customers that I hadn't seen in a while, all the things. And it was absolutely a game changer. So that was kind of my journey. And then from direct sales into being a boutique owner, I came to a place where I just knew it was time to pivot. If you're taking notes, you need to write this down. Betting on yourself is important. Knowing when to pivot is important. And pivot doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing or that something bad has happened. Sometimes it's just listening, whether you believe in the voice of God or your own intuition or a combination of all the above. You can just sense it when you know, hey, it may be time for me to take a different path, or for me to just tweak things a little bit, or for me to look at adding something to my current brand or taking something away, scaling it back a little, adding a little bit more to it. You never know, but that pivot is vital. And so I definitely knew it was right around the 5-year anniversary of my direct sales experience, and I knew that I needed to pivot. It was time. And so I made that decision on my birthday last year. So my 39th birthday, I decided, you know what? All right, I'm gonna bet on myself again. And I'm gonna leave the safety of direct sales. And I say safety because I had built some really nice residual income. I had a team of just around 3,000 people. We were rocking and rolling, doing amazing at one time in the company. And again, a very loyal customer base. And I knew that leaving that and being completely on my own was a gamble. It was a risk, but I was willing to take it. I just believed, at this point, I've proven to myself what I can do. And I've proven that, it's possible. And I believed that the hand of God was on it and was on me. And I knew, listen, it's going to work. It's going to be great. So made that leap on my birthday last year. And it was a phenomenal transition into my own boutique. I knew that I had a love for selling jewelry, and I knew I wanted to add clothes to the brand and accessories of other kinds, not just limiting to the jewelry. And so it ended up working out well. And I had to take kind of a step back unintentionally, but when you don't listen to your body and when you're not doing the things you should be in terms of resting and eating right and all the things, your body has a way of saying, hey, we need a break, so that kind of happened. And so I took a step back for a few months, but shout out to, and we're going to talk a little bit about building that loyal following and that brand consistency. Even when I wasn't actively live and things like that for a little while, my customers were still very much, still shopping and still asking, hey, are you okay? We've been seeing you live. And that let me know that I had done something really important, far beyond the money I made, far beyond accomplishments. That let me know that I had really built a community. And that community was looking for me and for more than just selling them stuff. And so that was a really big win, even in what was a trying time in my business. It was still a win that I had accomplished something bigger than what I initially set out to. So high level, that's kind of, where I started and where I am today. We're rocking and rolling in my personal brand and boutique. It's been amazing. And we're doing some new things right now. I'm doing some teaching and mentorship and coaching, which has also been great because that's a passion of mine too. And so it's all good. We're just going to the next level now.
Love it. Okay. So I think this is always so fun. We do have her link in there when they comment queen, right? #queen. Okay. We'll put that in there. We'll make sure that we put her Facebook page link in the chat. But tell them the name of your Facebook page.
So for my business, it's Blue Threads, and blue is spelled BLU. So just like the color, but no E, and then threads like clothing. Blue Threads is where you can find me on Facebook.
And we're going to put that link in there so you can find it. So Blue Threads, and she has just a beautiful Facebook page. You guys will love it. So here's the thing. When I have a guest, there's a couple things we ask. One, you can go stalk her all you want. Go look at her profile, look at her business page, enjoy her lives, see the kind of posts she's posting, see what kind of technology she uses. But you don't get to just message her and ask her for free advice. Okay. So I'm a coach. Please understand you got to respect people's time. But please go learn from her example. Okay. You're totally go shop from her. So tell them a little bit about some of the fun items you choose to carry. And then we're going to talk a little bit more like specifically about the t-shirts and things you've designed when we get to the branding part. Give them kind of an overall, because I do want them I'm thinking too many things at once. My mouth's not, my thoughts are ahead of my mouth. I do want you to tell them a little bit about some of the t-shirts you've chosen and how you've chosen some of your the fun wording that you've chosen. We'll do that more during the branding part. So what are some of your types of items that you choose to carry?
Sure. So basically, Blue Threads, the concept of Blue Threads is that we carry clothing for everyone, for all different body types, all different styles, so to speak. I love everyday looks because as much as I love to dress up, the majority of our time we spend in more casual clothing for the most part. So that's kind of our focus. We have a ton of variety, so colors, patterns, all the things. And like you said about the graphic tees, I didn't start out with intending for that to be a focus, but it was something that really took off. My customers really loved it. And this is a really
I'm sure she'll be back in a second. Okay. All right. Well, she's coming back. Make sure you tell me where you're from and which company you are with. All right. Make sure you take a hot minute. You see how brilliant she is. Tag a couple friends, share this out. Make sure you put that out there. Okay. When you comment hashtag queen, super important that you click on get the goodies because there's some things there you're going to want. Nicole, just so you know, I do hear you. There we go.
okay. Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Okay, so you were talking about your graphic tees. Go ahead.
Graphic tees. Okay, good. So we ended up kind of focusing on those largely by customer participation. And this is a really important part of branding. Listen to your customers. I started out in the business with certain ideas of things I wanted to sell. I love denim, so a really good pair of jeans is my jam. I love a good dress. We call them date night dresses. I love a good dress. So there's certain things that I was already excited about selling, and so we put those things in the store. And of course, that worked out great. But then as I started to hear feedback from my customers, they wanted me to put sayings of mine on shirts. So for an example, the one I'm wearing right now is something that I've branded. When I'm posting, I'll put inspirational things up. I do a lot of conversations around mindset. I firmly believe if we impact your thinking, we impact your life. So when we started doing that, a lot of my customers, that hashtag be reminded is on the end of my postings. And so people were asking, we should put that on a shirt. And then I would say certain things on lives and put that on a shirt. And so it just kind of took off from there at the request of my customers. So make that a priority, guys, as you all are building your brands and things like that. Don't be afraid to open up to hear from your customers. A lot of times we try and anticipate what our customers will want. And if you have a good amount of time under your belt, you have some data to pull from. So I can look and see, okay, when I was selling costume jewelry primarily, earrings were my best seller, not by accident because I love earrings. And so I'm sure that had a lot to do with why customers gravitated towards it. But when I got into the boutique space, that's a wide open field. We could sell glasses, we could sell hats, we could sell shirts, we could sell dresses. I mean, there's so many things. And where you want to have variety, you also want to niche down in areas where people are really asking for certain things from you. And graphic tees ended up being one of those things. So when you go to my store, it's bluethreads.net is the website. You'll see a variety of things. But definitely the best sellers are the graphic t-shirts. That's definitely what people love the most to see from us.
That's awesome. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. One thing I will tell you, if any of you are thinking about having your own boutique, one thing I've watched several different women own boutiques. One thing I will tell you this is just my 2 cents. Nicole, you can let me know your thoughts on this, but I have found that it's really important to start with what I call one size fits all things. Mm-hmm. So you're not having a variety of colors and sizes, meaning could be necklaces, handbags, glasses, hats. Mm-hmm. As soon as you get into sizing and multiple colors of one shirt, trying to guess the right sizes that you need and the colors and stuff, that's just something that I would suggest mm-hmm. that you start with a few things that are one size fits all, and then slowly put in things that have sizes and colors. So anyway, mm-hmm. This is my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth. But I think boutiques are amazing. And the way you can customize to your audience, you just got to get your audience big enough to then be able to have things with sizes and colors. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts or opinions on that?
No, I agree with you. I think you're spot on. Like I said, because I came in with a large following already, I felt
Yeah.
comfortable with, coming right in with clothing. But I also found a lot of power in, like you said, those non-size items
Yeah.
because they are a lot less risk up front. And they also give you an opportunity to kind of see what people are into. And
Yeah.
again, that customer feedback is so valuable. Don't be afraid to just ask. Sometimes I think we can kind of give a bad rap to putting out, kind of a survey, if you will, asking your customers what they want to see from us. But there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're a boutique owner, because you have a wide open space. There's so many things you can carry. Anything you can buy
Yeah.
wholesale, you can put in your store, So it's definitely important to kind of find out what people want. And like you said, those non-size items are great because you don't have as much risk associated. You don't want to get 50,000 of a shirt that you love that people don't buy and then you're stuck with it, So it's
Yeah.
much easier to move those non-size items. I would agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. All right. So we are going to jump into branding because seriously, this is one of Nicole's, it's just one of her, I like to call, whether you call it talent, I like the word spiritual gift. Nicole just knows how to put herself out there. Image anyway, so I'm going to share screen and show you her business page. Boy, my mouth and my brain, like, we got to get together here a little bit better. So I'm going to share screen on that. So I want you to tell them a little bit about your logo,
Okay.
your fonts and colors, what made you decide to go this way. I'm going to share screen and I'm going to show you a couple of cool things. So how many of you have used my AI tool? Comment AI. Okay. Oh, do you mind? Okay, we're going to hold off on this question. You think about this if you mind giving them some tips on finding a t-shirt supplier. Okay, so put
Okay.
that in the back of your head.
Okay.
Natalie, if I forget to bring it up again, feel free to ask one more time. Okay. Um, So some of you have used the AI tool with me, where you filled in the Google sheet and it sent you questions and stuff about post. Okay. One of the things I'm going to show you is how to directly use ChatGPT to get some tips and tricks on getting a logo. Okay. So it's something fun that I'm going to show you. It's so fun because I think some of us just do not know where to start. And I'm going to show you how AI can help you start. Okay. All right. So go ahead and tell us your journey with creating your logo, your colors, all the things.
Sure. So my colors specifically, I definitely started with the blue, like we talked about, that had already become a part of my brand even before launching into the boutique space. And so I knew the logo needed to have blue in it. And then I just played around on Canva with different colors to connect to that blue. I just played around with it until I found some colors that I liked. And then the person that actually hired someone to actually design the logo for me, I tried my hand at it on Canva and nothing that I was coming up with, I liked, so it was like, I kind of like it, but I don't love it. I need to love it. Right. So
Right.
I ended up going to someone that's a professional at it, that's a graphic designer, to actually do the design portion. But I did come to him with the colors and I was very clear on how I envisioned it coming together. And he was great in terms of, coming up with the finished product.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And what made you decide to do like the BT instead of
Mhm.
like the whole work? Well, you do have it under here. So one thing you got to know, you guys, when you have a logo, the one thing that I feel like people don't understand is I think it's really important to have a logo that can be a really nice watermark.
Mhm.
And what I mean by that is she would take her logo, so she has the gold and the blue in it, but then she could have it all white or all black, and that can go like in the color of her. It could be a photo of her. It could be a really good engagement post that she doesn't want somebody to just steal and use.
Mhm.
there's all sorts of ways she can easily use her logo for a watermark. And I
Mhm.
see some people have really complicated logos that are big and long and kind of weird sizes. I really love that that can be a really perfect square easily, can go in a corner really nicely. So I think there's some things like that that are important to understand. There's a difference between a logo. See how she has her like round logo here, but then underneath she's got blue threads. She kind of has two different kind of versions of it.
Yeah.
She'd use the BT as like a watermark she could put on any picture, but she wouldn't necessarily put the big blue threads, the whole thing written out as a watermark. She could use that one just as a watermark too. So you want to kind of have some flexibility and think about that. How is this ultimately going to look like a watermark? Because you are going to want it white with a transparent background and black with a transparent background, so it can be put on things and in corners and stuff. Okay. Let me know if that kind of, if any of you went, oh, okay. If you had a little light bulb moment, you may, if you already have, how many of you have a logo? Okay. Comment have if you have a logo, need if you need a logo. Okay. If you're not happy with your logo and you have one, maybe comment upgrade. You're needing an upgrade on your logo. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the different ways you use your logo in your branding?
So you mentioned the primary ones, which are if I'm putting up something that I don't want people to steal, and just to be fair, that's not the primary focus, but it's definitely
No.
a nice byproduct, right? But it's also brand recognition. It's also wanting people to look at it, and let's say it's something that doesn't have my face on it, then but the logo will still connect the dots for people back to me. So the brand recognition piece is a very important part of that. So I definitely use it that way. I also use it in marketing, like when we're marketing different things, especially if my face isn't on it. I do try to make sure that we have that logo added so that people can easily, again, recognize, oh, that's Blue Threads, or oh, that's Nicole, or that's, they may not remember the entire name, but usually the blue hair sticks. And that's another reason I put blue in the name, because I there have been plenty of times I have met someone, let's say they gave me a business card and I can't remember for the life of me where I put the card, but if there's something about them that sticks out, and that blue hair, people never forget. So a lot of times it makes it easier for people to find me, even if they can't, remember the exact name, or they don't have my business card or whatever. So yeah, using that logo for brand recognition, especially on the internet, helps a whole lot. And if you go like to my app or my website, of course, like it's all the same. So brand consistency is also something that's really important. It's very easy for us to, just kind of, especially if you're doing something in a rush, or like plenty of times I've had a last minute idea about something and just want to, go do it real fast. Maybe I don't have time to get my graphic designer to do it, or, to outsource it. It's something I have to do on my own. I try to remember to keep that brand consistency, so that if somebody sees it that maybe hasn't shopped with me in a while or something like that, it still connects the dots for them.
Love it. And that's the thing. When people are scrolling, you know how y'all are. You get your phone out and you're scrolling faster than your eyes work. When you see that logo, that blue hair, that whatever, it makes you go, what's Nicole doing now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to have something that makes people stop. Okay. I want you to all comment stop. When you get people to stop, because you're like, oh, wait, Michelle's there, Nicole's there. She might have a good idea. I need to slow down and see what that is. That's another reason why I've talked about having your avatar. Did it not let you have blue hair in the avatar? Do you remember?
No. Remember we talked about it, and I was trying.
That's so weird.
I couldn't get it to let me turn it blue.
As colored hair is, that shocks me.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I love you guys having avatars. I think those are really important. But dang it, we've been like, how do we fix this? So are you guys kind of getting excited? Because first of all, women love to be creative. They love visual things. And this is a way for you to really like express yourself and show some of your strengths. Okay. All right. While we're here, because I'm on this post, let's talk about some of your groovy t-shirts. Okay. Because these are so fun. So let me click on these. Okay. So obviously this series, you probably have more than this series, but this series start with the word girl. So tell us where this came from. And whoops, I'll click on that again. You talk, I will click.
Okay. So the girl series, I am so amped about. It's brand new. We literally just dropped it in the last week or so. I just did, if you are a customer of mine and you're watching this, we just did a huge shipment over the weekend of those who had pre-ordered. And so you guys need to be stocking your mailbox because they're coming, and I just can't wait for you to see them. So the idea came about, shout out to one of my partners. We worked together in my direct sales journey, and we just clicked. You know, sometimes you just click with people and you just want to continue to work with them in some way, shape, or form. So both of us actually left that direct sales company that we were a part of, and she started working. She was already doing t-shirts. When I first started doing t-shirts before my boutique, just kind of here and there with my sayings, she was the person that was doing them for me. And I was like, okay, so now that I'm in this boutique, you know, like we could really make this massive. Do you want that type of production? Can you handle that? She's like, oh, absolutely, we can do it. And so, this brainchild came about of just because when we're talking on the phone, it's just, girl, like, you're never gonna believe what just happened, girl, you know. So that's kind of, it's conversational. It's conversational, and the girl is really what grabs people's attention. But then the word that's underneath is really a powerful reminder. There's the one that you have up there right now says, girl, forgive. And we can all relate, you know, to the struggle of letting things go, and not just forgiving others, but forgiveness of self. That's enormous. You know, that's enormous. And we talked about a little bit ago that betting on yourself. One of the hardest parts of my journey in entrepreneurship was, you know, betting on myself and having things not work out exactly the way I thought. You know, still finding some success, but, you know, I'm an overachiever, admittedly, you know, a reforming perfectionist. And so I'm still working on it. You know, so it's very hard for me to see the good when it didn't work out exactly the way I wanted, or when I didn't see the results to the magnitude that I knew was possible right away. And so that forgiveness piece is big, because forgiving yourself, like it's okay if you overestimated. It's okay if you didn't do all the things that you planned to do and you didn't get the results that you could have. That's okay. Still let it go, focus on the positive, and let's move on to the next thing. So girl, forgive is a big one to me. They all have scripture references underneath. So
I saw that. I love that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people use the word empower and stuff like that too much. Like, it's just like, what does that even mean? Do you actually feel empowered? These like evoke action. These like make your like mind and your heart like move, change, switch. Like, these are like the very simple message, 1 or 2 words. Oh my gosh, so smart. Okay, guys, you got to tell her, which is your favorite t-shirt? Are there more than these 5, or was it 4?
So far, those are the first 5. I'm adding some more. My customers asked for a purple shirt. Several of my customers love purple. And so they asked for purple. And I told them the next message that I wanted to put out was girl, pursue. Like, you've been thinking about it long enough. You've been mulling it over long enough. You need to go for it. Pursue. And so I'm going to put girl, pursue on a purple shirt. That's the next one. But right now there's girl, pray. There's girl, believe. There's girl, you just had one up there. Have faith is one too. So you heal. That's another biggie. Oh boy. Girl, heal. Like, you need to call your therapist and get a session. You know, heal for real. Girl, believe. That's another one. So there's 5 of them right now. They're all in the store, and we had such a great response. Thank you to everyone that answered the call when I put them out. I wasn't sure. You know, I was excited about it, but I wasn't sure how it would connect. But like you said, I think the simplicity of the message. When you guys are thinking about whether you're putting something on a shirt, or whether you're, you know, thinking about the next thing that you want to put out to your customer base, keep it simple. As simple as possible is memorable, right? If it's a long drawn out thing, it's harder for people. They may connect with it, but it's harder for them to remember it. We get so much thrown at us on a daily basis. And I love the whole graphic t-shirt concept, because as you're out and about, it's a billboard, right? When I'm in line at the post office, or in line at Starbucks, people ask me all the time about my shirts, and it's a great conversation starter, right? I have a mobile app, so I can literally pull up the app or airdrop it to them if they have an iPhone right while we're in conversation, you know. And I've gotten sales like, you love my Be Reminded shirt? You can get it. It's in my store, you know. It's bluethreads.net. Pull it up real quick, you know. And so
Right.
it's super easy to keep that conversation going. But I love the girl series because they are powerful reminders that people actually need. We're in a world where people are hurting. You know, we went through a very traumatic experience
Amen.
for the last few years. And no matter whether you know exactly what people are facing or not, you can know walking through this world on a daily basis, everyone's going through something. Everyone, you know, so if we have a message of hope that inspires and connects with people, and like you said, that empowerment is often overused, but I believe empowerment pushes people to action. It's more than just a
Right.
feeling. I think real empowerment is something that people can execute. What can I execute that's
Amen.
simple, that's reachable? Forgiveness is a choice. So, girl, forgive. Execute that today, right? Something, someone you need to forgive, even if you never get an apology. Resolve in your heart. I'm going to let this go, not for them, but for me, right? And the same forgiveness, the scripture that's referenced on that particular one, the same forgiveness that we need is the forgiveness we extend, right? We've all been the villain in somebody's story, whether you want to admit it or not. So ultimately, it's like, hey, the same way that I've dropped the ball before, the same way that I always haven't been the best friend or the best mom or the best, you know, business owner. I've had areas of improvement again and again. I've needed forgiveness, and it's the same forgiveness I'm extending, right? So that message is power packed. Like, it's 2 words, but it's a powerful packed message. So yeah, hope you guys. I see a lot of people saying they love them all.
I do. I know. Like, I can't choose. Oh, they're so good. You definitely need one in your blue. I'm thinking your blue is missing there. So
yeah, the closest I got is like that teal, but I definitely need more like my color blue. Yeah, we got to figure that out. Yeah,
gotta get electric blue. I don't know. I'm calling it electric blue. I don't know what you call it, but I'm like, today it's electric blue in my brain.
Yeah, I like that. Electric.
I love it. Electric. It just sounds like it's got energy behind it, right?
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Okay, let me see. Is there anything else? Like, what else should we show them on here that you're loving?
Let's see.
Look at how you throw that blue in there. That looks so good. I love it.
There's a reel on there that I did for our Memorial Day sale. It should be coming up right there. I think you passed it just a second ago. Reels, you guys, Michelle will tell you when Reels first became a thing. Cute. There we go. That's another one that's a bestseller right now. The Save Sympathy.
Oh, that's a cute Cami.
There we go. That's the reel that I was talking about. So Michelle will tell you that when Reels first became a thing, I was terrified of them. And I remember telling her, like, is this like a TikTok thing? I'm not dancing on the internet. That's silly. I'm not doing it. And she was,
come on, girl, we want to see dance.
And she was like, it's not just about that. Like, keep an open mind. And
Your next shirt will be girl dance.
Right. Girl dance. Just do it, right? Michelle was like, it's more than just dancing. Reels are like the new thing. And I remember her telling me, you can make a reel out of pictures. So don't feel a pressure to, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Michelle put me up on game. So when we did the Memorial Day sale, I took some photos of some of the bestsellers that we had on sale for that event. And I just put them to some cute music, you know, and that was a reel. And it actually did really well. So if you guys are like me and you're like hesitant about, you know, dancing on TikTok and things like that, there's definitely other ways to still leverage that. And for whatever reason, just like live video, when it first came out, live video was getting the most love. I still feel like Reels are getting a lot of love, much more than still photos on Facebook, especially.
I call that. So I love to coach on Zoom. I do not like anything where I can't see people's faces and eyes, because I can see in their eyes and their face when I get a mental FU. I don't want to do that. So I call it, okay, I know you don't like me right now. I know you'll like me tomorrow after you tried it. You got good results. But like, I have to be able to see their face if they're just human. Yeah, I'll do that. And I can see if they actually mean it. I'm like, and it's not that they don't care what I'm talking about. It's not that they don't believe me. It's just, for whatever reason, we just kind of hit a wall with like, no, you just like pushed me too far outside my comfort zone. And then we kind of walk through the fear together. You do pictures with Reels, Kim? I know. Isn't that so smart? Doing pictures,
it's
Reels of
genius.
pictures. It's like, no video, no dancing, no, just throw a bunch of pictures up there, pick your music. Usually they're suggesting music. Doesn't have to be that hard, right?
Yeah.
All right. How many of you love her page? Okay. So let me grab this. Let me make sure. And if you comment #queen, some of you already commented, may not have got that message. We can also send it out later because you've engaged in the last 24 hours. So we can do that too. All right. So hopefully get that. Okay. All right. So let's go back to our list of things. All right. Oh, so one thing I wanted to show you. Okay. Let me switch screens here real quick. Okay. This is so fun, you guys. Okay. So this is our chat GPT. And a lot of what I show you guys, I actually give you a Google Sheet so that you know what to put in. Okay. But I want to give you a little fun freebie today. So if you haven't tried ChatGPT, you can just go, anyway, just Google it. You can sign up for a free account. I use the paid account. Anyway, some fun things. So I'm just putting here something simple. Give me 20 font combinations of fonts. I don't need to use the word fonts in there twice, but that's okay. That work great for logos and branding for women-owned businesses. Okay. And I'm going to hit enter and look at this. So, you know what? I'm going to edit that one more time. Do that again, but with, keep it to fonts that you can find on Canva. Some of these fonts, and the thing is, if one of these fonts you absolutely loved and it's not in Canva, you can always buy it and upload it to Canva. So some fun things there. So I don't know about you, but I will go to Canva and I'll know, like, I need to put 2 different fonts. When you put a different font, it kind of like makes your eyes kind of grab the message better, or you need to use different colors.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll be like, I don't know which one. I know I need a one that's kind of boxy or kind of square, and I need one that kind of has more some serifs or a little bit of curl to it. And I still am just like, I don't know what to use. You guys, I'm just not. I can learn basic things about being creative, but I'm not creative. I'm a problem solver. People are like, you're creative, and I'm like, I'm a problem solver, but I definitely wouldn't call myself creative or artistic or any of those kind of things. And I'm okay with that. Like, I really like my talents. So that's totally okay. So a lot of fun things that you can do there. Okay. And then one other thing I want to show you. Okay. So if you haven't heard, we have 3 workshops that we have coming up this summer. One's on content creation, but the second one is on branding and logos. Okay. And so one of the things we want to help you do is to get set inside your Canva account. We want to help you get your colors, your fonts, and your logo and those kind of things in there. Because when you do that, it is so cool how quickly and easily Canva will help you create things. Okay. So I'm going to show you this brand hub. Let me switch screens here. Okay. So under Canva, one of the things we're going to help you do is create your own branding hub where you've got colors, you've got your fonts chosen, you've got a logo uploaded. And here's the cool thing that Canva has recently changed is that if you have a place that you've put your logo in, if one day you were to change your logo, all the images you have created, there's a way to go switch the logo on all the images at once, which is like, that's a big deal. That's a really big deal. Because anytime you want to rebrand something, it's like, okay, but I'm going to have to change it here and here and here and here and here. And we want you to have like a consistent branding, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or YouTube or wherever you're at. You want to have those consistent colors, those consistent fonts, picture of yourself, watermark things. The other thing that you can do is you literally can create your own stickers. Okay. You know, when you're doing something in a story or reel, one of the stickers I use the most is an arrow, because I'm like, click here to come to our webinar, or click here to follow for more info. You can literally make your own stickers, upload them to your phone, and have them there to use, little arrows that would be branded to your stuff. So we want to help you make stickers. So when they see your reel, when they see your story, they know that's you. Okay. I think that's the biggest thing. I want everybody to comment, know it's you. Okay. Because without reading words, some of us catch things like, I'm just going to be like brutally honest. I wish this isn't how my brain worked. But when people come to my coaching calls and they're on Zoom, if they don't turn on their camera and I can't see their face, I don't make as much of a connection and I don't remember them as much if I can't see their face. I really wish so much with all my heart, like I remembered names as much as I did faces. But I definitely remember your story, what you have going on. When I see, and so whether it's a face or an image, women are very, very visual. We're just visual and we like to see things. Okay. So kind of some important things to note. And then the other thing is, where do we go? That thing in the like gives you different design ideas. Porter's, you're going to see him kind of sneak around the corner. There's this other very cool thing.
Why am I blinking?
I know if I put in here story.
Kim said, I love stickers. I love stickers too.
I know, are they fun? They just have a little flash, but you can make them all your brand. Okay. I think
It might be. Let's get that over on the side.
but I know when we put this in, there was a thing. Templates. Give me just a second, you guys. So there's this really cool thing where it will. It's called Magic or something. Oh my gosh, it's right down. Give us just 1 second.
Okay, maybe try to see the purple button, top create design.
Yeah. It's going to ask me what kind. Give us just a second. We're going to find it. Okay. Porter's going to look real quick. There's this really cool thing that you click on and you say, I want to create all this design, and it will make a whole bunch of different like templates for you to use. It's super cool. This is not it. We're going to find it. So give us just a second. So these are all things we're going to show you how to use. It will save you so much time. You'll look 1,000 times more professional. People will know it's you when they click on it. Like, it's super, super cool, you guys. It's so fun. I'm going to show you a little bit about that in just a second. We just got to find, it was called, there's like this thing that's called. Click on one of these. Custom size, upload. Isn't it called Magic or something? Or is that just the wording? Anyway, okay. All right. So while we're looking for that, Nicole, tell them a little bit. The last thing I'm going to talk about is more like culture, more like your customer relationships, and those kind of things. And then we're going to follow that up with how this helps you create consistency and confidence in your business. I think one of the things is when you have a brand, a logo, colors, and you have a culture behind your brand, when you have that, you can move forward more with confidence. I think you can take bigger risks. I think you're more excited to work your business every day because you feel like you have a game plan. So first part, sorry, I'm kind of talking about 2 parts at once. So first of all, tell them about how this influences like your culture, your community, and your customer relations in general. Go ahead.
Sure. So one thing I'll point out right from the front with answering this was something that I took some time to intentionally work through when I made the transition from direct sales into my boutique as a small business owner, because I had more autonomy. I created a culture with my customers and even with my team members when I was in direct sales. But at the same time, there was kind of, some of the work, so to speak, is done for you because there's a brand associated with the company. So in our case, we sold costume jewelry. There was a certain, even down to the slogan, there was a certain, sort of brand that came along, or brand recognition that came along with just their name in general, right? But then, of course, especially if you've got thousands, hundreds of thousands of people selling the same product, what differentiates you from the next person is what you create as kind of your microcosm. But the microcosm is still a reflection of the macro. So it's kind of like you don't have as much responsibility to create because some of it's already done for you, right? So it's kind of like, okay, well, the big macrocosm is this brand, or it's this price point, or it's this, building confidence through affordable fashion. That was kind of already the big message. The microcosm for me was more of the same, but it was also, with kind of my individual sauce on it. So what that means for you is whether you're watching this as a direct sales business owner or a small business owner on your own, be intentional about, if you have that bigger message, be intentional about creating a smaller message that echoes the sentiment, but that's more specific to you, right? As a believer, as a faith-based business, I already had, in my lives and on my posts and things like that, I make no secret of my faith. I make no secret of the role that plays in my journey as a person and as a business owner. So when I think about culture, part of how I created that, or part of how I identified it first for myself, was definitely in what do I want to accomplish? That's the question you ask yourself. Of course, I want to sell. Of course, I want to make money. Of course, that's part of it. But more than that, because I have found money follows purpose. So when I am where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, the money follows, right? So I don't make it just about the money. I make it about purpose. Money follows purpose, right? Where your purpose is, your provision is already there. People will pay you to do what you're supposed to do, right? I have no problem hiring Michelle. I told you guys in the beginning, worth every penny. I had no problem with whatever her coaching was going to cost me, especially once I saw the value. Once I saw, oh, this is gold right here. The things that she's done for my business, man, I would have been all year and into next year trying to figure this out on my own. Like, it was absolutely worth it, right? And then, like I said in the beginning, it isn't just the product or service you provide, it's also the person you are. So when you show up on my video, when you show up in your posts or in your reels, whether it's something inspiring, whether it's something serious, whether it's something funny and lighthearted, whatever it is, people are connecting to you, the person. And people buy from who they know, who they like, and who they trust, right? So when you think about culture, be intentional about identifying what do you want to contribute. What do I want to give to the people who are watching me, to the people I want them to buy from me, but it isn't just about what I want to take. I want to take their money, sure, but it's also what do I want to give, right? Because if all I'm doing is taking their money, they can buy shirts anywhere. They can buy jewelry anywhere, right? There's pretty much nothing that any of us are selling that nobody else is selling. So ultimately, it isn't just about what I came to get. It's also about what I came to give. So when I thought about creating culture, I wanted to give what I needed. Think about what you need as a person and be intentional about giving that, right? And this is a principle that works universally. If I think about my relationships with my kids, with my business partners, anyone that I work with, I'm intentional about modeling what I want to receive. So if I want to receive, if confidence was something that I knew I needed to build more of, whether you got a little bit or a lot of it, okay, I know I need more confidence, then that's part of the culture that I want to give to the people who come to my lives. If I know, the ability to start over, not being afraid of starting from scratch, and I've had to do that. I've gone through divorce. I've gone through losing everything and having to rebuild my life. I'm not ashamed of telling that story because I know when I was going through it, the stories of women and men too that had been down those roads is part of what empowered me to know that I could do it. Because if they did it, surely I can do it too, right? So when you think about culture, think about what you want to give. And if you're struggling with identifying that, think about what you need. Because generally, God uses us most in the areas of our experience. So if I've been through loss, I can help people that are going through loss. If I've been through rebuild, I can sure enough teach you about how to rebuild, right? Whatever it is that I've experienced in my life, that generally is the place where we're the most empathetic and where we connect the most. And that genuine connection translates when we're thinking about culture. So I know I said a lot, but hopefully I answered your question.
I love that. Can you give us some specifics about like how you choose to treat, like, so it would be like, how you invoice, how you send things out, your customer service, messaging, wording, like some of that are those little specifics.
Yeah.
Give us like 2 examples. One, that's very proactive about giving really good customer service and just making people feel special is basically what it always comes down to, right?
Sure.
And then
Sure.
2, kind of an example of how to handle like a hard situation. Maybe a customer is not satisfied. Maybe the shipping just didn't get it there the way it was supposed to. Sometimes it's completely out of your control. Sometimes they might say, this isn't what I thought I was getting. So one, proactive, how do you make people, just feel loved and like that creates loyalty? And then how do you handle hard situations when somebody's less than thrilled?
Sure. So making people feel special, I have found, like we do little notes in our packages, thanks for supporting our small business. You mean the world to us, something like that. I have found those things mean a lot. I started in direct sales doing it when my kids used to help me pack orders. And they would do little cute handwritten messages. And because they would pop up on my lives when I wouldn't want them to. But to all the moms with they're a little bit older now, so I don't have to deal with that as much. But when we first started, they were like little, like elementary school, preschool still. My youngest daughter was in preschool when I started selling jewelry. And so, she would pop up and I'm just like, ugh. But to all the moms with younger kids especially, or if you've got grandkids in your house or whatever, don't let that stop you. That's real life. Yeah. People love it. As much as it would irritate me, my customers loved it. And so then it became, I'm working on orders. Mom, can I help you? And in my mind, I'm like, I don't want your help. You're going to make this slower because I'm going to have to teach you what to do and all the things. Right. But then my youngest daughter started writing little, thanks for shopping with us or have a great week. And she would put her name in a heart and it became a thing. So on lives, my customers would be like, I got my order. And on my packing slip, there was a note from Savannah. And they were so excited about it. So little things like that make people feel special, right? When we send out our packages, automatically our system sends tracking and your package is on the way. I found sending something out through my app that says, hey, if you guys ordered the girl series, we just shipped a bunch of them, check your emails for tracking, something like that. People love that. So that's how I answer your first question. The second one, I have in my first year as a boutique owner, I definitely experienced this. And it was hard where, like you said, out of my control, I went through a situation with a particular vendor where I had a ton of stuff actually that ended up not coming the way it was supposed to. And it was very scary for me because the person whose name is on the door is who this all comes back to. Doesn't matter if it's a vendor issue or if an employee made a mistake or something like that. People don't care. They think about it like it was you, as if you are personally packing every order, personally going through every vendor box. And so what I found was that communication was key. Just being honest and saying, I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, but I do want to make it clear what we expected is not the timeline that we're getting. I'm going to do my best to get this resolved as quickly as I can. If I say I'm going to have an update within the next, 7 business days or 5 business days, and that time comes and I don't have the information I need or I don't have the product yet, I gave people the option. If you're willing to wait, I'm still working on it. If you'd rather just get a store credit or even a refund, I'm willing to do it, whatever makes you happy. What I found was that people were super understanding as long as I communicated, as long as I let them know what was happening. So if you're dealing with anything, whether it's within or outside of your control, the most important thing is just to communicate with people. They don't necessarily need all the gory details, but just letting them know that, hey, I'm in front of it. I know you're waiting for your product. You're waiting for us to deliver whatever we said we would. We are actively working on it and giving them an estimated time frame for resolution. And even if, that 7 days comes and goes and you still are not where you need to be, sending another update. Hey, so I'm back again with, the latest and greatest. People are, I have found, generally speaking, of course, you're always going to have that 1 or 2, people that are just hard to get along with, but I'm blessed and fortunate that that's not the majority of my customer base. I've definitely been blessed with people that are understanding as long as you communicate with them.
And I have even found if you said, I don't know, I don't know when it's coming, or I don't know how it's going to get fixed, or I don't know, I am working on it. This is what I've done. I've sent this email. I've sent this communication. I've reached out to this person. This is what I've proactively done. I'll give you an update. I don't know, but I'm working on it. Even that can go a long way.
It goes a long way. Agreed.
and you still have to ultimately finally tell them what you do or don't figure out, or if you just can't figure it out now, what you're going to choose to do. But saying, I don't know, but I'm working on it, that just letting them know that you care, and that, I don't like this is happening either, but I'm working on it for you.
Mhm.
It is amazing how far that can go with people too. And so, yeah, don't hesitate to be real. But like I said, sometimes there are details that it's just like, explaining this to you will just probably make you more frustrated.
Right.
There's details, because sometimes you're just dealing with stuff that it's like, yeah, sometimes it's somebody else's story that just you don't have any control over.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's nothing wrong. Y'all, everybody put, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know, but I will find out.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm working on it. I
Mhm.
don't know, but I care, and I'm doing what I can. I'll follow up. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know is okay to say. That's important
Absolutely.
to know. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, do you have any great wording when somebody messages you and says they have some sort of concern, something they're not thrilled about? Because I feel like our first reactions to people when they're not happy, we can't be defensive. It's really important that we validate where people are at, or that's my opinion. So, tell me your thoughts, some of your favorite wording with regards to when somebody isn't thrilled.
Yeah.
Any 2 cents on that? Because you always
Yeah.
have really good wording. I like.
I think exactly what you said is where I always begin, and that's to validate their concern. So if the concern is it doesn't fit or I don't like the way it looks, listen, I totally understand how important it is to love the piece or to love
Mhm.
how it looks on you. And I get that for every person that's different. So validating is always the place to start. Because, like you said, it can be very easy, especially when we're talking written correspondence. People read it in their interpretive voice. And depending upon how well they
Right.
know you, they can easily misinterpret what you're writing. So if you start
Yes.
with, validating and affirming, listen, I hear your concern. I understand. I agree. Even if I don't necessarily agree, I think just to say, I agree that it's a concern for you, even if it wouldn't necessarily be a concern for me if I were the customer. That's not what we're talking about, because you're the customer in this case, right? So
Right.
I agree it's important that we get this resolved. And then I also go, after affirming, I also make it clear I'm going to resolve this for you one way or the other, right? It's my goal to make sure that we get this resolved. I think that puts people at ease right from the beginning, right? And
Yes.
she hears what I'm saying. She understands what I'm saying is my concern, and she's committed to a resolution. That goes far. Everything
Yeah.
you say after that is gone through a much less defensive filter, because you've already kind of gotten those defenses down from the beginning, right? And then, whatever we offer as a solution, I try to give options. So if it's, well, okay, like our store policy is that we don't actually give refunds unless it's an error on our end. And that's clearly outlined in our store policy. So when someone, let's say, messages in and says, I got this outfit or this pair of jeans or whatever, and it didn't look the way I wanted it to on me, or it doesn't fit or whatever, then we offer the
Right.
option for them to exchange. If it's something that's unique, that's off the beaten path of what's normal, like I said, I always try to make sure that I validate the concern, assure them that I'm committed to getting it resolved, and then I try to give them an option. So we can go with this. I've got something similar, right,
Right.
to what you got here. I've attached a link so you can see pictures of it on the website, or the store credit option if you'd like to go that route. I also find it
Right.
powerful to tell them if I've got like a new drop coming or a sale we're about to run. So that store credit option
Yes.
seems a little more enticing, because you'll have an
Yeah.
opportunity to use it on something good that's about to happen, and
Right.
all of that gives a sense of, it matters to me that you're happy, and it matters to me that we resolve this for you, right? So
Right.
that's what I would say around that.
And I don't actually like this word, but for some reason the sentence does seem to make people, and I go, you know what, you're right, this does suck. Rather like, the shipping place like destroyed the packaging, or I don't know, like whatever weird thing there is, right?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? You know what? You are right. This does suck. Like, I'm sorry it sucks.
Mhm.
Not that I made it suck. Like, there's a difference between like taking responsibility for everything and just saying, you're right, it sucks. It's not
Yeah.
fun when it sucks.
Yeah.
You might have a different word that you feel is, you know, a better word, but I just can't believe how often people will kind of come down when I go, you're right, it sucks. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, you're not going to try to tell me I should be happy about this. No,
Yes.
it sucks. You know?
That's where that validation becomes really important.
Yeah.
Like you said, people, they almost go in expecting resistance. And so when you start out with, you know what, you're right, I agree. Like it should not be this hard, to get this result, or it has taken longer than I expected. I totally understand. And I agree with you, right? It does.
Yeah.
It puts them in a much less defensive frame of mind.
Yeah. It's awesome. I don't know why. I just found, it says Try Magic Design. I finally just found it. I don't even know how to explain how I found it. Okay. You guys, so I'm going to show you something cool. Okay. Are you guys like, do you love her wording? Is she not just so wise? I told you guys would be so inspired by Nicole. Okay. Wording means so much. There are so many ways that we can quickly like turn things bad or quickly like move things to a more positive place, all by a little bit of wording and understanding. It's kind of cool. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you this thing. So what I put in is I put in a specific kind of thing I wanted to do. I put in an event. I don't know why it says event flyer. That's not actually that's okay. Let me see. We're just going to go with this for a minute. Okay. So right here, it says Try Magic Design. Okay. So that's what you're looking for. Is this sharing what I think it's sharing? No, hang on a second. Share this tab. Oh, here we go. Okay. So sorry. So it says Share Magic Design. Let me explain that to you one more time. So I just put in a specific kind of design, and then it pops up and it says Try Magic Design. This is on a computer, you guys. It will look different on a phone. Okay, so so it says insert media. So you're just going to follow the instructions here. I am going to find a photo of myself, hopefully. There's one. Okay, so I'm going to put in my photo. Okay, and look at all these different designs that comes up for you. Okay. And let's see here. Usually it lets me pick my branding. Hopefully I can find it. I apparently need to play with this. It's changed, these like pieces of technology. One thing about these things is they're like, oh, we have another new idea. And I'm like, okay, thank you. But then, then you kind of have to like relearn it just a teeny bit. And then the headline, so you can pick some of your fonts. Wait for this to come up, you guys. This is so cool. You guys, please don't make things in Canva on your own, meaning from scratch. Use their stuff they have for you. Use their templates, okay? I mean, look at how good these look. All I did was put a photo in, okay? And then we've got headlines, so we can put in here branding workshop, okay? Kind of something we're talking about, right? I can put that in there. Wait for the magic to happen. Okay. So there's so many fun things you can do with this. Okay. And Canva can make you look so good and so professional. It is such a hoot. Look how the wording's moving on this one. Okay. So there's all sorts of different things here that you can do. Let's see, filters, business. Let's go down to social media. Here we go. That's what we wanted. Try this Instagram story. Let's apply that. That will come up with something totally different because these are flyers. Most of us aren't using these kind of flyers. Let's get to something we actually use. Here we go. I need to. Thank you. Okay. All right. So as these pop up, I just want you to know that we are so excited about the summer. So see all these cool stories, okay? And you're not going to love all of them. Okay. It's no big deal that you don't love all of them. That's totally okay. This template. I'm not sure where that popped up. I'm going to close that for right now. Okay. So there are so many fun things you can do with this when you just know what to click on. Okay. And I kind of joke technology is like, it's like a video game. I don't know about y'all, but my son loves video games, my Hayden. And I sit down to playing with him and I'm like, I don't understand. I was supposed to crawl and then stand up and jump and hit my head on the mushroom. And then a banana comes out and you get the banana and then you throw that, not at the monkey, but at the turtle. And then when the turtle does this thing, you're supposed to sing and dance and then eat the stars. Like, I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, I don't understand video games. You can tell the only video game I've kind of watched is Mario Kart. Like, I don't get it. Okay. And I feel like that's what most people are saying with technology. I don't get it because they didn't know what to jump up and hit their head on and what to do with the banana. And they're like, what am I supposed to click on? So we're going to help you know what to click on. Okay. Because I think technology is just like a video game. And I have more patience to figure out video or technology than video games. So if you feel like that, just comment video game if you're like, I don't know what to click on half the time. And then some people are terrified to click on things like they think they're going to break something. No, you won't. Just click on it. Nothing bad happens. Okay. Click and try things. But sometimes some people like prefer to have like, hold my hand. Give me some direction. Okay. All right. So what I want to tell you about is our workshops. Okay. So I'm going to tell you about our workshops real quick. And then the last thing I want you to talk about, Nicole, is how branding, community, this kind of stuff, your messaging, how that helps your consistency. Okay. Without consistency, your business won't grow. It also helps your confidence. When you have a game plan, you move forward with confidence, you take bigger risks. So those are the two things I want you to close on. Okay. But I want to tell you about our workshops for this summer because they are going to be absolutely so much fun. Okay. So we have this workshop bundle and I'm going to tell you they're on Tuesday nights. Let me put down a couple things here. I'm going to put this down and put you back up. I'm going to put it like this. Okay. All right. So our workshop bundle, they're on Tuesdays. The first one, let me tell you the dates. You've got June 27th. You've got July 11th and August 1st. They are 4-hour workshops and there's 3 different ones. The first one is all about content creation. We're going to give you all these Google Sheets that connect to AI so that it creates this content. It puts the hashtags in, it puts the emojis in, it starts with a question. It adds really good content. Like it is so much fun. It's going to help you make a really good event that you can boost a little tiny ad to, and it will help you get back in front of customers you used to have and get you in front of new people. Anyway, the content creation one is going to be amazing. And you're going to be like, I sound so stinking clever. Okay. What I love, what everybody likes about the AI are like, that is wording that I love. And I wish I used on a daily basis, but man, it just made me sound really fun, made me sound clever, made me sound punny. Anyway, it's just really fun. You can even pick the mood of the post. It's really funny. Okay. Then the second one that we're going to do is going to be more about the visual part. We want to make sure you have a brand, that you have a logo, that you choose your colors and fonts, that you start creating some consistency. And these are the kind of things that we're going to be helping you with. Okay. That Nicole's talked about and emphasizing the importance of those. Okay. And then the third one is more about like consistency and staying in front of your customers. I have found my best customers that get the most repeat sales have a game plan for like emails or text messages or Facebook messages. You can even just simply do a group message on Facebook, but we're going to help you create a game plan as to how often to communicate with people and what you're going to stay in front of them about. And when you do that, oh my gosh, you guys, it's so good. Your long-term repeat business is just crazy solid. Okay. This is where I see people get the most business. Business isn't consistent. It's when you get in front of people. Sometimes that's going live. Sometimes that's an email. Sometimes it's a Facebook message. And when you have a game plan for that, you get really awesome repeat sales. And then you want to have a consistent, so many new buyers. When you get somebody to buy one thing, they will continue to buy more, but that first purchase is the hardest. And we want you to have a goal of so many new customers a month. So this whole thing together is going to take you into fall with a really good game plan. Okay. So this workshop bundle, I'm so excited about it. It's going to be a ton of fun. Okay. So it is, you've got it's $347 or 4 payments of $97. They're all recorded. You're going to have videos to watch before then, so you can get some things prepared and you can have a really effective 4-hour workshop with this on the 3 different nights. So it's going to be a blast. We didn't do it on any weekends because we know how many of you travel and sports and all those kind of things, but it's going to be awesome. You're going to have so much fun. Okay. Now, the first 10 people that buy it today are going to get what's called our Money Making Messages program. That is all about wording. It helps you know how to respond to people that message you. It helps you know how to message people that have commented on posts. It's like, I think they might want the lipstick. I think they might want my t-shirt. I think they might want my thing. Okay. The dates, Porter, be sure and put that in a message. The dates are the 27th of June, the 11th of July, and August 1st, all Tuesday nights in the evening. Okay. All right. So as you're thinking about this and have your questions, be sure to put questions about the workshops. Nicole, tell them why this will help their consistency. Ultimately, the bottom line, they'll make more money, right? Yeah. But yeah. How does this help their consistency and confidence to have branding?
So one of the hardest parts of consistency is lack of direction. I found that most people are not inconsistent because they're just lazy or because they don't really care about their business. That's generally speaking, 99% of the time, that's not true. It's just, it's hard to be consistent when you spend, let's say I'm going to devote 2 hours to my business. And you spend the first 30 minutes trying to figure out what to do with the 2 hours, right? Yeah. When you go into your dedicated time with a game plan, especially if it's something that you feel confident in executing, it's an excitement around it, right? If I love what I do, live video has always been my jam, always. So when it first became a thing, I was like, when I got past the awkwardness of looking at myself talking, it was like, once I got past that, and I realized the interaction with my customers, even though it was with, written messages on the screen, it just, I found an excitement in it. So if I knew that I was going live every day at 12 or every day at 9 or whatever the time was, I was excited about getting to that time because I knew not just that I was going to make money, but I also enjoyed the actual activity. So then you might be wondering, okay, well, if it's something that I don't really enjoy, or like you said, I'm scared to click because I don't even know where to start, right? But it's something that you have to do. I used to always tell my team members, your success, your next level lie on the other side of what you don't want to do. So if live video is what I love, but let's say emails, I get stuck on that. I don't even know, it's too many buttons, it's too many places. I pull the email addresses from this place and I got to figure out what I'm going to put in the body. It's just too much, right? But I could easily find great success, like you said, on that touch point, because maybe there's some people that are going to buy from me, but that aren't available when I'm live at noon, or that are there in night school when I'm on live at 9 o'clock in the evening. So they're going to miss that opportunity to connect with me. So I got to find another way to connect with those people. So that thing that may not necessarily be your jam, or that you know you need to do, but you just don't know where to begin, that's where coaching opportunities like the workshops that Michelle is offering this summer are going to be gold, because they're going to help you to learn how to do the things that may not necessarily be your preference, but that are important to the growth of your business. And then if you're the other person that's like, man, I enjoy, finding the things. I'm a clicker. I like going around, but at the same time, you want to maximize your time. So even if you're a person that enjoys some of the things that she's coaching on, it's going to be better for you if you have a game plan and if you have a level of expertise that you don't have today. Because we're excited about a lot of things that we're not necessarily good at, or that we don't necessarily know everything we need to know, right? So that's where investing in your body of knowledge becomes important, because now I'm going to marry that excitement I have for this thing. I'm going to marry that with some skills that are going to help me to get some results out of it. And anytime we get results, that's the biggest motivator to come back and do it again. You're right. Even if you're terrified of live video, the first time you made a sale on live video, you got over that fear, right? The first time that somebody jumped on and you saw that number go from 0 to 1, or 1 to 5, or 5 to 10, it was like, people are here.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Give yourself that extra boost. Whether you've already got some confidence, you're going to add some more on the top. If you're at none and you need to get started, right? It's some accountability, and we all need that. So don't be afraid to make this investment. It's a nominal investment for the amount of money that you could potentially make from implementation. And that's how I gauge risk. Before I get ready to put money into anything, I always ask myself, is there a potential for what I'm going to learn to pay for itself? If it pays for itself, it's worth it.
Done.
Legit. Like, if I spent X number of dollars to get into this program and I put in the work, and if you're like me, I don't like to waste money. So once I paid for something, that's a huge motivator for me to get on those classes, and for me to lock in, and for me to execute. I like to be the student that can come back and tell the teacher, I did the things we talked about and here's what it got me, right? So it's accountability, it's expertise, it's it's actionable items where you can go into the fall, like she said, with a solid foundation, and then you find yourself normalizing these practices, and then you're cooking with gas. So it's a worthwhile investment. Absolutely.
I love it. Here's the thing we try to explain to people all the time, is that this is an investment versus an expense. And expenses, it comes in, it goes out. There's no way for it to come back. Those are your mailers. Those are your, there's a certain expenses. Just even your merchant account, whatever it is, $50 comes in, but you technically get 47 of it, or whatever it is, right? Those things are just expenses, right? Whereas this, we have so many people who invest, it's $347, or like I said, you can do 4 payments of $97. And they're like, so many people have worked with us, and within a month they're making $1,000 more in sales than they did the month before. The class right there is paid for in the first month, let alone the next month is more, and the next month is more, and the next month is more. These are people that were doing $75 in a month and did $1,000 the next month. That's a huge increase, and a huge, what we call ROI, return on investment.
Absolutely.
So please realize you're going to make that money back, and then some, as long as you do the work. Okay. And that's what she was saying. She goes, I want to tell the teacher I did well. I want the gold star. I want to not only did I make money, but it's like, hey, look at you go. Okay. So you guys, it's so exciting. Okay. And you're going to feel so empowered. You're going to have a game plan. It's going to make you want to wake up in the morning and go to work. You're going to know what it is you need to do on a weekly basis. Besides, it's going to look awesome, because you're going to look even more professional. Okay. So let me put that link up there for you one more time. Can everybody please give Miss Nicole the biggest thank you? Oh my gosh, you're such a wise woman. I appreciate your time and you being here so much. I hope you all go check out her Facebook page. And then we're going to announce our winners of our live check-in and our shares when you commented Revolution. Okay. You guys are so awesome. Thank you for tagging people. Oh, look at the blue heart. Look at Kim.
Thank you all.
Love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right. Any last, just like, you have so much wisdom when it comes to business and things that you're intuitive to yourself, your whole thing with betting on yourself. Like, what's something that you feel like these ladies know, something might be on your heart that you're like, they need to hear this? What would be like your last message for these amazing ladies?
Yeah. I want you all to celebrate yourself for even being in the position to be on this video. If you're watching this video, you're either a business owner through direct sales or you're a small business owner on your own, or even if you're here because you're thinking about it, right? It dawned on me the other day that we are such a small percentage. There's so many people that are not either interested, or maybe they're interested but they're fearful of jumping out into these treacherous waters, because it's not easy. It's not easy to start a business, to stick with a business. It's not easy whether you are doing it through direct sales or on your own. It is not easy. So I want you to pull some confidence from the journey that you've already began, whether you just started or whether you've been in this for several years, whether you feel like you're on the upward swing, or whether you're resetting, from a downward season. Wherever you are in your journey, celebrate the fact that you're on the journey at all. Right? That in and of itself is so powerful. And sometimes, especially if you've been doing it for a while, what we feel like is our regular scheduled programming is just normal to us. And so we don't even really think about it. But the idea that you're in this, you've positioned yourself to be able to take a bet on yourself, to be able to pivot, to be able to invest in yourself. We've talked about some important things, and they're applicable tools that you can literally put to work in any area of your life. You don't have to be a business owner, but the idea that as a business owner, you're sitting on this video out of the fact that you took that gamble on yourself, that you saw whether it was a need that pushed you to do it, whether it was just something to do, whether it was whatever your initial why. I used to always teach my business partners, why you started and why you stayed are often two different things. So celebrate yourself for the fact that you started, but then evaluate regularly why you stayed. Why are you still in the game, right? Don't worry about what didn't go right. Don't worry about the resets. Don't worry about the pivots. Don't worry about the failures. Because trust me, if you are successful at anything, you're going to have those downward seasons. You're going to have those moments where things didn't necessarily work the way you planned. But there's still beauty in all of that because you continue to show up. So I celebrate everyone that's watching this because you showed up. And you didn't give an hour and some change of your time to just say you did. Like, be the person that takes something away from this and that actually takes action. I celebrate action takers because there's a lot of information out there. And there are some people who are habitual information gatherers. They'll sit on live videos, they'll listen to podcasts, they'll read articles, they'll fill their minds with information, but rarely actually take action. So I want to encourage you to go from celebrate the fact that you're here, celebrate that you're in the few percentage of us that are business owners at all, and then be the person who goes from the information you've received to actually taking action. And taking action by joining the summer program is literally like step one. Once you've taken that action, showing up for the class, implementing the items, and then being the person who can stand on the other side of all of that and see results. Can you imagine going from $75 in sales to $1,000? Like, that's such a huge jump. But the fact that that's happening lets you know this is a worthwhile investment. It's going to give me a return. And the return is not just about money. I can't stress that enough. I told you before, money follows purpose. So be intentional about investing in what you know is a part of your purpose. Maybe when I was selling costume jewelry, I knew that $5 jewelry wasn't the entirety of my purpose, but I also recognized that it was an important it was an important bridge that God used in my life to get me from one place to the next place. And one of the greatest things that I took from that season was not the awards, it was not the recognition, it was not the money, and I got a lot of all that stuff. It wasn't any of those things. The biggest takeaway was the confidence it put in me that literally no one can take from me. You can spend money and be broke. You can, the awards can go in the trash or go in the storage or come down off the walls for one reason or the other. You can, the accolades and the celebration, they'll be celebrating somebody new tomorrow. Like, that's not the thing. The thing is the confidence that those moments, that journey, it gave you. Hold on to that. Hold on to the confidence that you get from knowing I'm an action taker. I didn't just hear information, I actually took action. And that action gave me something, whether it was a huge amount of money or a small amount, whether it was big, enormous strides or whether it was small steps. Whatever it is, you can't get it if you don't take the step, if you don't take the action. So I want to encourage you to celebrate yourself for being here, for being in that small percentage of those who actually take the risk to jump out here and try to build businesses on our own, right? And know that you're in good company, because there's a lot of us that have the testimony of, I took that bet on myself. I wasn't afraid to pivot. But lastly, I was not afraid to make the investment in myself, because you're always going to see that return if you're willing to take investment. So I want to encourage you to do it, because literally you'll be in the fall being glad you did. Because summer, people try to tell us it's slow. I don't subscribe to that. I think it's all in how you work it. And part of how you work it is to take what may be a little bit of a slower period and do something intentional with it. So that when business is booming in the fall, you are not the person who's starting from a deficit. You're the person who's already starting in the black. And you're ready to build from there into something bigger and better and greater. So celebrate yourselves for being in the position to take action, and then be the person who takes that action, because that's where the results are. The results are in the action.
And I believe with every ounce of my soul that people spend tons of money in the summer. They buy differently. The reason why so many direct sellers say that the J months are slower is just because people are less likely to have parties. They still spend money. So as long as you stay in front of them, you can make plenty of money in the J months. Do not buy into any of that. It's a load of BS, y'all. What you believe, like every single year, I would recruit between Christmas and New Year's, and people would always say that was impossible. I'm like, no, it's not. I don't believe in any time period is impossible. It's all about you showing up. And if everybody else thinks it's slow and you're the one showing up, you're going to make a lot more money, because everybody else is like checked out. Like, oh, you're not going to make money. I'm like, well, I'm going to.
Yep. I agree wholeheartedly. Yes.
Yeah, we are. Okay. You're awesome. I love that, you guys. Isn't she so wise? I told you you're gonna love her. Okay, so our two winners, I'm super excited. We've got Elma Zachary and we've got Lori Croft Hamilton. Elma Zachary and Lori Croft Hamilton, and it's so exciting because Elma just signed up. Elma, I'm gonna give you an extra bonus with that. So I'm gonna have Porter message you. I'm gonna give you an extra bonus because you've already signed up. Okay, you guys would love this. Hi, Sean. I'm so glad you're listening, girl. You guys are so funny. Okay. All right. So let me just tell you one more time what you're going to get from this. If you need to go, Nicole, I totally understand. If you want to hang in there just a few more minutes, that's good too. Okay. So this bundle, let me explain to you. So technically, you can buy the bundle a la carte. Or I mean, the different workshops a la carte, not the bundle. That didn't make any sense. You can buy the individual workshops a la carte. They're $147 each. Okay, so if you buy each one individually, it would be $447. Okay, or $440-ish. But we've got this bundle for you that you save $100. Okay, on top of the fact you're going to get our money making messages for free, which is a $247 value. Okay. So what you're going to get with each of the workshops, you've got your number 1, content creation. You've got your number 2, branding, and number 3, getting repeat sales with, it's a follow-up system. Those 3 bundles. Okay. You're going to have some videos to watch that you can watch at any time is convenient for you. I strive. There's 2 things I work hard to do. You can consume the content whenever it works for you. And 2, there are coaching calls so you can come and get your questions answered. Those are 2 things that not everybody has in their coaching programs and are very important to me. Okay. So you're going to get those 4 hours with us. Again, they're Tuesday nights. Tried very hard to plan a time where hopefully it's not interfering with vacations as much. You've got June 27th, July 11th, and August 1st. Okay. It's going to be amazing, you guys. You're going to be so excited about what it does for your summer sales on top of what it's going to set you up to do in the fall. You want your Facebook pages to look as amazing as Miss Nicole, right? Hers looks amazing. All right. And we want people to know it's you when they see the post. We want that font, that color, that whatever it is that pops out. And they're like, ooh, what is she talking about? What new things does she have? What specials does she have? We want people to slow down and stop what they're doing when they see it's your content. Okay. You have really good ideas. You have inspiring posts. We just want people to be excited to be around you. Okay. So grab that. Remember, the first 10 people get the money making messages. Elma's already snagged one. Congratulations, ladies. It's going to be awesome. All right. Everybody give Nicole lots of hearts, lots of loves, lots of thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All righty. If you are thinking about doing this, but trying to decide if this is where you need to be, comment fit. Is this a good fit for me? Julie joined. Yay, girl.
Congratulations.
Yay, yay, yay. You guys, we're going to have so much fun. Julie, awesome sauce, girl. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, comment fit if you're wondering if this is a good fit for you. Thank you, Miss Karen. You guys are so awesome. All right, and let me pop that link up for you one more time. All right, I do have to take a son to school. So what we're going to do is have you comment fit if you have any questions, if there's anything that we can assist you with, any questions. Sheila, tell us what you sell, love. All righty. Nicole, you're just the bomb.com. I cannot wait to see what new t-shirts you come out with.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love them so much. I absolutely love them. They're so fabulous. So smart. So smart. I always learn. All right.
Thank you so much for having me.
Do you want to tell them about anything new they should watch out for on your page? You should stalk your page for to see.
So like I mentioned, the girl series we just dropped. I'm adding some new ones, at least one for sure. I know we're going to be adding in the next week, and then I don't know, we might do girl dance just because we talked about it. Like we might have to come.
I know there's a scripture that talks about there's a time for dancing.
Yes.
There is a scripture that
there's a
that.
time and season for everything under the sun. Absolutely.
Yep.
And so that definitely could be a thing. So definitely keep an eye out for that. If you follow me on my personal profile, you'll see I'm doing a lot of cool things over there too that are not necessarily related to the boutique. If you want some additional assistance with like leadership, learning how to, kind of grow in that area, especially if you're in direct sales and you have a team. I had a lot of success with that. And so I've been asked lots of times to do some mentorship on it. And so we're doing some of that. And there's information about it on my page too. So yeah, just connect with me, Nicole DeShera. I'm Nicole DeShera everywhere in terms of social media platforms. So you can feel free to connect with me there. And then, we have lots of cool stuff that's coming up this summer.
Let me grab your Facebook profile link.
Okay. Yeah, but just Nicole DeShera on Facebook.
Yeah, you can just search like the name you see on her thing, but I will find the link here real quick. I just gotta, because all of you, did y'all know you have a Facebook link?
Yeah, facebook.com/Nicole DeShera. Yep.
All right. Coolio. All right. Those of you who have commented fit, I know a couple of you are paparazzi. You guys, I've helped so many paparazzi gals go from zero to hero pretty much. Okay. Please come join us, because the fun thing about the class is you're going to make friends with some other people with similar mindsets.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the, how do I say this politically correct? Sometimes in some of your Facebook groups that are company focused, sometimes there can be some negative energy in there that's not super fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's some positive energy and some negative, and some people that just don't have quite the same mindset you have.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the fun things when you take coaching calls, because these people are all investing in themselves. And I think the energy can be somewhat a little more positive in our groups and stuff, when I can be like, no, you're paying me and I don't, you can't be that way. Or sometimes leaders like, oh, they're trying to find this happy medium between letting people ask the questions they need to and it not be a venting place. So I think you'll love the energy in our coaching calls.
Good point. Something else that's valuable, if I can just add to that real quick, having been in that space with direct sales, and like you said, having those groups that are company focused, your upline, your downline groups, all that type of thing, it is valuable to get out of that company bubble, right? And not just for yourself, but you also have value that you can bring back. You're going to have people within your circle that are not going to either be able to or willing to invest in themselves outside, but there's still people that are valuable, and there's still people that matter, and there's still people who need the information. Sometimes the blessing that we get to be is the person who comes back and brings it. You know, when I get some intel, I'm gonna share it with my sideline, upline, downline, whoever will listen. But sometimes coming out of that company environment bubble and getting some information that's universal. Business practices are universal. They're not limited to certain companies. Yeah, there's nuances to every individual product and that type of thing. But if you can get those universal principles that are going to help you, especially the practical stuff with AI and with marketing and branding there, and then as a leader, that makes you a credible source. People are not following a parked car. So you got to be going somewhere in order for people to follow you as a leader, right? And so
that was a good one. That needs to be on a t-shirt.
On a shirt, right? Nobody's following a parked car. Like, you got to be going somewhere in order for people to follow you. And honestly, a lot of that credibility is not just knowing your company jargon and your company, because they can find that anywhere. It's what am I going to add to you in terms of value that sometimes is not necessarily found within our company focus, but it's applicable. You can take it and put it into practice in your company and it work out. So don't be afraid to make that investment, and don't fall into the trap of expecting your upline to give you everything, because sometimes your upline only has what they have. So don't be afraid to as a former upline, I can tell you, one of the things that helped my team was the investment I was willing to make. They weren't always in a position to do it or had a willingness to do it. Sometimes you have to lead by example in that way, and showing people, here's what happened when I, invested in the summer boot camp. I was able to come away with this information, and it scaled my sales from this to that in 30 days and 60 days and 90 days. That gives you credibility. It gives you credibility far beyond what you can tell people. You have to be able to show them, here's what I did, and here's how it helped me and worked for me. So don't be afraid to break out of that, get something outside of that bubble. Sometimes you got to leave home to get that fresh air from outside to bring something fresh and new back into the house, right? Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing, it's your business. You guys, your uplines make money off of you, and yes, it'd be nice if they all were perfect, but they don't sign a contract. They don't have to be.
Nope.
And they may not be perfect for you. They may be perfect in some areas, but maybe not be perfect for you. Please do not expect that they're going to know everything you need to know. Okay. Because that's just, you should think about it as a parent. Like, how many times I have failed my kids, or there's things I didn't know. Sometimes I hire someone. Sometimes I go do my research. Sometimes they just end up not getting it, and they still live. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Your upline, you should see just like yourself as a parent, and you go, oh man, I'm not a perfect parent. There's no perfect leader. Okay. They're doing the best they can. And sometimes that isn't what you need, but there is someone who has what you need. Don't ever think that you can't find what you need just because it's not in your leader. Okay. There's just a time and place, and sometimes leaders, you just can't do it all. Okay. So, and it's your business anyway. It's your destiny, your money, your business. So do your thing. All right.
Absolutely.
I love you, girl. You're awesome.
I love you more. Thank you so much for having
hair.
me. Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
Love you
Have
so
the best time ever. Bye,
everybody.
ladies. Thank
See
you
you
so much
next
for
time.
joining us today. Bye, guys. Ciao.